I call this meeting to order at 6:06. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Secretary Singer, can you please call the roll in the absence of Secretary Triplett, please?
President Robinson. Vice President Bowen.
Present.
Secretary Triplett. Treasurer Bradley.
Present.
Trustee Rocket Martin.
Present.
Trustee Gavin.
Present.
Trustee Doyle.
Present.
Vice President, sir, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We now lead to the part of our agenda of an approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Can you talk into the mic, trustee? All of them, yes.
Past agendas.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to
Well-
approve our
Go ahead.
past agendas,
No, this is for the approval of the agenda.
Approval of the agenda.
Tonight's agenda,
approval of the agenda.
and I second.
Okay, the motion has been made to approve the agenda by trustee Rocket. It's been seconded by Treasurer Bradley. Is there any questions or concerns? It's a question by trustee Doyle.
I would like to. Yes, I would like to move table B5, staff report B5, and move it to our work session so we can discuss it.
So you want to move staff report D5?
Point of clarity.
Yes, it's trustee Gavin.
I think that's B2.
B2.
Yes, B2.
For B5.
Yeah, B2.
B2? Okay,
There's no discussion after that.
it's, well. Okay, and they have to agree to change the agenda, right? Like it's already been approved. Can we go back?
We have a discussion about the tabling.
Yes. Go ahead, trustee Gavin.
I'm in agreement with trustee Doyle. Not that I'm not in agreement with this happening at some point. I would rather it be discussed during work session so that we can get more clarity, more information prior to taking a vote on this tonight. It's being on the agenda.
Thank you, trustee Gavin. Is there any additional questions or comments? Trustee Bradley or trustee Treasurer Bradley, trustee Rocket?
We can do it later for discussion. I'm open to discussing it,
Okay,
so to table it for discuss it at a later date.
is that the will of the board?
If that's what everyone decides, I can go along with that.
Okay, thank you. Secretary Singer, sorry, can you please call for the vote?
President Robinson. Sorry. Vice President Bowen.
Yes, sorry.
Treasurer Bradley.
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin.
Yes,
Trustee Gavin.
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. It leads us to our next statement, the Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education norms, which I will read. We will treat each other with respect. We will listen to learn. We will refrain from side conversations. We will use our time wisely, starting and ending our meetings on time. We will challenge ideas, not people. We will ask questions when in doubt. There will be no surprises at the board table. We will practice the 7 norms of collaboration, which are pausing, paraphrasing, posing questions, putting ideas on the table, providing data, paying attention to self and others, and presuming positive intentions. Thank you. The next is public comment on agenda items. Is there anyone that has any public comment on agenda items? Oh,
I don't even know what the agenda items are, and I don't.
I believe the agendas are right there at the table,
Are they?
and they are posted on our website and social media pages. Okay, therefore being no comment on agenda items, we will move to our next session on the agenda, approval of meeting minutes. We will be approving regular session 7/8/25, special session 7/17 of 25, session 7/22 of 25. Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes from those three meetings?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for regular session 7/8/25, special session 7/17, and work session 7/22.
Okay, a motion has been made by Treasurer Bradley to approve those three meetings of 7/8/25, 7/17/25, and 7/22 of 25. Is there a second?
Support.
And the motion has been made by Treasurer Bradley and second by Trustee Doyle. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? Therefore, being none, Secretary Singer, can you please call for the vote?
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. This now leads us to board business. And that leads us to closed session. The Board of Education may hold a closed session to consider materials such as written opinions of counsel, which are exempt from discussion by state or federal statute, reference policy 0167.2F. Is there a motion on the floor to go into closed session?
I make a motion that we go into closed session.
A motion has been made by Treasurer Bradley to go into closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
And it's been seconded by Trustee Gavin. Is there any questions or concerns? Therefore, being none, Secretary Singer, can you please call for the vote?
Vice President Bowens,
Yes.
Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, for those of you that are in the audience, we will be going to closed session to discuss board business, and hopefully we will be back momentarily. Thank you.
With the agenda, up next, we have the update on committee assignments. As you,
President, that's been tabled.
the committee assignments,
Oh, my bad. I got the wrong note.
okay. As you all are aware, we previously had a conversation about separating facilities and finance as a committee. I did email the board on September 2nd what the new committee assignments are, but I wanted to ensure that I did the update before the table, before the board as well. So the committee assignments for those said committees are facilities and operations will be Secretary Triplett, Vice President Bowens, and Trustee Doyle. Finance will be Treasurer Bradley, Trustee Gavin, and Trustee Rocket Martin. So you all will need to touch base with Dr. Griffin about your current schedules for the split committees, and I hope that this is a system that is benefiting to the Board of Education as well as the district, and I look forward to great things from each of you. Standard, the treasurer, is the chair of finance. However, there was some conversation that he wanted to address with his committee about that. So I'll allow you all to have that conversation when you are able to meet. Facilities and operations, you all need to take vote to select, decide who's going to be your chair. If you all cannot agree upon yourselves who the chair is, then your official chair vote will have to come before the public. And you can take it here at the board table, but if there's no confusion on who your chair is, then just give me that update via email. And that would be great. Okay, moving right along, we have the support and endorse the Invest in Michigan Kids proposal. This is something that has been provided to the board. However, we do not plan to take action on it at this time. We wanted to pre-message it to you all, and I will pass the floor to trustee Gavin. She's actually the person that brought it to my attention. And it's ironic how it happened. I think we were having a one-on-one and she mentioned this important meeting that she had coming up. And I asked her what it was about and she gave me details and I said, send me an invite and I'll attend. And I don't know if she thought I would actually show up, but I did. And so I told her that I was in full support of investing in Michigan kids and that I would be willing to bring it before the board to see if the Board of Education would be willing to support this or endorse this movement as a full Board of Education. So trustee Gavin, I'll give you the floor and you can kind of give them a quick summary of what it is. We'll allow you all to read the actual resolution in full. And then we plan to have an actual conversation about it at our upcoming work session.
Thank you, President Robinson. It was really great to have you at that meeting. We, as some of us already know, Michigan schools, public schools are underfunded by $4.5 billion. And schools like, school districts like Benton Harbor area schools are feeling the brunt of that and have been feeling the brunt of that. And what we found in that meeting is that a lot of the student achievement the decline in student achievement has been directly correlative to the decrease in investment in our children. And so there is an opportunity for us to look at the top 1% earners in Michigan and who are also paying a lower tax rate than everyday people and retrieving some of those dollars and giving it back to our kids. And so this is a proposal, this is a resolution to support an initiative that would be able to do that. It gives everyday people an opportunity to weigh in moving those dollars into our public schools. It's really exciting. And I'm asking our board to support this resolution. Trustee Doyle has been a key person in working on this and is going to be reaching out to folks as well to see about leadership. But it would be amazing if our board, and even if there are ways that our superintendent can endorse this initiative. And I'll turn it back over to you, President Robinson. Thank you for this time.
You're welcome. So there's a lot of language in the resolution, but ultimately, what we are asking you to vote on is the therefore be it resolved. I mean, it's the full resolution, but what we're asking, therefore be it resolved that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education hereby endorses the Invest in Michigan Kids proposed amendment to the Michigan Constitution to impose a 5% fair share surcharge on annual taxable income over 1 million for joint filers and over 500,000 for single filers to raise funds for career and technical education, reducing class size and attracting and retaining educators in public schools across the state, and is subject to an annual audit. So we'll come back to that in our work session. I do want to give you all an opportunity to read through your resolution. There's also additional information for your reference at the bottom of the resolution. So I would like for you all to actually go into your linked agenda and look at the data, and then we'll have more of a conversation in the work session. So thank you, trustee Gavin, for the invitation and for being a strong advocate for public education. We'll move right along. And trustee Doyle, who gave her time to be a representative for the city of Benton Harbor as a whole. We're going to move right along to the MASB Summer Institute recap. Treasurer Bradley requested that this be on the agenda so he can give you all, they can give a recap of what they went over. It should be standard. It's actually in our policy that we do share what we've learned in our sessions. So we're going to get back to ensuring that we at least provide, we've always shared PowerPoints and things of that nature, but actually having the conversation at the table so that the community is aware of what we've learned. So Treasurer Bradley, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna try to be very quick. Me and Trustee Rocket Martin, we both attended the Summer Institute and Lansing. And I had an opportunity, I signed up for the board president's workshop. And I've done it before when I was on the board previously, and I know that MASB recommends that all board members take either one or both classes. Debbie Stair taught session 1 and session 2, was taught by Michael Rochos. He's a former board president over, I think, in Schoolcraft area. In the session 1, it covered the some of the topics that were covered in session 1 were president and leader of the board, meeting management, and meeting room setup, working with the board, legal issues for the board president, and that was a Brad Bernaskic section, and then working with the superintendent. Section 2 covered board turnover, understanding self and others, and that was the DISC assessment, community engagement, board first person, and dealing with media. That was Jesse Stickler, and me and Trustee Rocket Martin did get a chance to sign up for that class for the leadership, because there's only room for 16 people in that class, and then consensus and conflict. Some key takeaways from both sessions is how we all should identify with the norms, making sure that we use our board calendar to guide a lot of our decision making, and it also keeps us on track and helps us stay focused. How board presidents and board members can help board members be better. For example, professional development, being proactive. How the board and superintendent relationship is critical to the success of the district. One board president who was taking the class gave us this takeaway, that the board president is to protect the super. That's our biggest asset. And then taking the 8 traits and having discussion around those. Sometimes during our board comment time, instead of having comments, we have a discussion around those. Giving and showing grace and being prepared for what ifs. And also talked about dealing with the board, onboarding and assigning mentors, and being mindful that that process can take up to a year. We also discussed having a prepared list of who we would all want to be on the board, as individuals and as a board, when election time comes around or if a vacancy comes around. And I can remember from when I was first elected back in 2018, in a span of a year, I think there was 1 death, 2 resignations. So it was a lot of turnover. And so we were steadily having to fill positions. And then so one thing they say is we want to look for people who challenge us to think differently than we think. And then, people that can keep us moving in the right direction. As I stated before, we know people that want to run, or we have an idea, they can go to the Michigan Association of School Boards website and get more information. Another thing that kind of stuck out to me is they were saying once we lose the trust, or we make a decision and it loses the trust, it can take 20 years to get it back in some instances. So we have to be mindful of how we operate in that. Another thing, getting out of the habit of speaking in acronyms, and a lot of times, sometimes we'll be sitting here and we'll speak in acronyms and everybody's like, what? And sometimes even board members. So they said, possibly working with the central admin team, and so we can just have a glossary of our terms. And then another thing, how our behaviors can affect our communication and putting our personal feelings to the side. And so a few things I had included in that were, as you can see, the district must knows. That was something that, and I know Trustee Rocket Martin sat in on that part of the class with me, and that's basically keeping our message and our strategic plan front in mind. And with that, and I know we had the discussion last week, and so that's something that we should try to remember and keep it right there in our heads, when we doing that. And I want to make sure that everybody gets interested in doing the advocacy certification. I know probably Trustee Gavin would definitely get that one, and Trustee Doyle, the advocacy certification checklist, community relations, data, finance, and they have a leadership. That's something new they're doing. So if you're going to the annual leadership conference, they're going to have those different classes. And then you have the individual award checklist. You have level 1, level 2, level 3. I know we have, most of the board has did level 1. Some of us are level 3 and some of us are level 2. And then they do have a award for boards that all get level 1 certification. So as always, if there are any questions, please let me know. I don't know if Trustee Rackett Martin had anything to add, but that's all I have.
Did you have anything additional to add, trustee Raquel Martin? Did you have anything additional to add to his presentation? All right, thank you, Treasurer Bradley. And just a reminder to everyone, I did request that we all attend the Annual Leadership Institute or conference rather, next month. So I'm not sure if everyone has enrolled or not. No one necessarily said that they couldn't make it just yet, but just a reminder, if you haven't touched base with Ms. Singer, please do that and at least let us know if you can attend. That way I know if we're going to be able to pull off having all of us there or not. But I think it would just be amazing for Benton Harbor area schools to walk through the conference all as one board so they can see that all of us take our education and our learning as it relates to being great board members extremely seriously. And I just want them to see how dynamic of a team we have. So they've met majority of us, but we're not always all together. So I'm looking forward to us being able to do that. So we're gonna move it right along. Up next, we have Policy and Discipline Committee, our second readings. Staff report B1. The policies that we did our first reading for last week were policy 1130, conflict of interest revised, policy 3110, conflict of interest revised, policy 4110, conflict of interest revised, policy 6110, grant funds revised, policy 6111, internal controls revised, policy 6112, cash management of grants revised, policy 6114, cost principles spending federal funds revised, policy 6325, procurement federal grants funds revised. Policy 6550, travel payment reimbursement revised. Policy 7310, disposition of surplus property revised. Policy 7450, property inventory revised. And they are connected to staff report B1. Prior to me presenting the staff report, I'll take a moment to ask if anyone had any concerns regarding the policies noted. All right, if not, we'll go ahead and keep it moving with staff report B1. Subject new and revised Neola policies dated for today, September 9th, 2025. Reason for board consideration for the Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education to review the updated Neola policy adoptions is listed below. Facts and analysis. Occasionally due to changes in legislation or as needed, Neola sends out new and or revised policies to school districts. The central administration reviews them and notates their suggestions. These are then given to the board for review and approval. The following policies are recommended for revision and addition. Policy 1130, 3110, 4110, 6110, 6111, 6112, 6114, 6325, 6550, 7310, and 7450. Policy reference 0131.1 bylaws and policies, strategic plan reference facilities operations. Benton Harbor area schools will develop, implement, and evaluate a fiscally responsible plan that will ensure physical and psychological safety. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education votes to approve the Benton Harbor Area Schools revised, reissued Neola bylaws and policies as presented, and this was approved for presentation to the Board of Education by Dr. Simone Griffin, Superintendent. Is there a motion to approve staff report B1?
I so move.
Is there a
Support.
second? The motion was made by Secretary Triplett and supported by Treasurer Bradley. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, Secretary Triplett.
President Robinson,
Yes.
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, awesome. Up next, we're gonna move it right along to finance and operations. And we are going to pass the floor to Director Brock Carter. You have the floor. Staff report F1.
Thank you, President Robinson. Tax report F1. Subject, monthly financial reports. Reason for board consideration. A set of financial reports is provided to the Board of Education each month. Facts and analysis. This evening, it is recommended that the July 2025 payments be approved for all districts' funds. Policy reference 6470, payment of claim. Strategic plan goal reference, facility/operations. Benton Harbor Area Schools will develop, implement, and evaluate a physically responsible plan that will ensure physical and psychological safety. Recommended action that the Board of Education approve the July 1st through July 31st, 2025 payments for the following funds. General funds, $1,534,006.20. Food Service Fund, $73,100.29. Student Activity Fund, $175, for a total of $1,605,19.06.
All right, is there a motion to approve staff report F1?
Make a motion to approve staff report F1.
Second or support?
Second.
The motion has been made by Treasurer Bradley and supported by Trustee Rocket Martin. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. Secretary Triplett.
President Robinson,
Yes.
Vice President Bowen,
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, up next, we have Human Resources, transfer staff report H1. Dr. Griffin, will you be presenting that today?
Sure.
Okay.
Subject. This number is close enough. Transfer staff, September 9th, 2025, to approve staff employment in accordance with the revised school code and other general laws of Michigan. It is recommended that the board approve the superintendent's recommendation for the transfer of the following personnel. The policy reference is 3130-4130, assignment and transfer of professional support staff, and the strategic plan goal reference is personnel leadership. Benton Harbor Area Schools will recruit, hire, develop, and retain the best staff to improve student outcomes. The transfer will be Bud Dash, current position, Director of Facilities in Central Office, to IT Department Manager, still in Central Office, effective date August 27th, 2025. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education votes to approve the transfer of the aforementioned staff.
All right, and before I call for a motion, I just wanted, to my understanding, you communicated to me that this was a direct request from current Director Dash, correct? Okay, so I just want to make sure I put that on the floor. I don't want anybody to think that he's been moved from his position. This is him choosing to do what he loves, and what he feels is his passion and his greatest strength that he would like to bring to Benton Harbor Area Schools. So at this time, I will ask, is there a motion to approve staff report H1?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve staff report H1.
Is there a second or support?
Support.
The motion has been made by Vice President Bowens and supported by Secretary Triplett. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Madam President, I would like to take this opportunity, and I'm glad that you did put that out there on the floor. One thing for sure, two things for certain, our superintendent has really tried to make as many things as transparent as possible, and I appreciate that in her leadership. But I do want to take this opportunity to say to our former Director of Facilities, Director Dash, that I appreciate. I appreciate him stepping in when we needed him most. He, when he decided to do that, he specifically said, I don't know everything there is to know about this, because of his loyalty to the district. And oftentimes, you know, down through the years, through several administrations or what have you, he stepped up and did that. And in that interim, in that time, he did an amazing job. He did the best that he knew how to do. So I want to publicly say, as the past chairman of the Facilities Committee, thank you, Bud. And we really do appreciate everything that you did for us during a very critical time transition.
All right, I agree. We appreciate everything that Mr. Dash has provided to Benton Harbor area schools during his tenure here. If there's no other comments, I'd ask that Secretary Triplett please call the vote.
President Robinson,
Yes.
Vice President Bowens,
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle,
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, awesome. Next up, we have Teaching and Learning, the Institute for Multisensory Education Staff Report T1. You have the floor. And while they're working to get her mic on, I just want to take this time to acknowledge her efforts. I did have an opportunity to see the post today on our page. Congratulations to our very own Director of Academics, Dr. Erica Foster, for being accepted into the prestigious School Turnaround Leaders Program at Harvard Graduate School of Education. Harvard. This November, Dr. Foster will join top educational leaders from across the nation to strengthen skills that drive school improvement and student success. We're incredibly proud of her accomplishment and look forward to the knowledge and expertise she will bring back to benefit our Tiger students and community. So congratulations. You have the floor.
Thank you so much. For approval of the ISM, the Institute of Multisensory Education Program submitted on September 9th, 2025, submitting for board consideration. The Board of Education shall approve all textbooks and contracts used as part of the educational program. State of Michigan Department of Education threshold, facts and analysis.
So I'm sorry, is Tech here? Trying to figure that out. Okay.
Well,
No, it was.
I'm sorry about that. Facts and analysis, the district has received a quote from the Institute of Multisensory Education for professional service and instructional materials related to the comprehensive Orth and Gillingham program. This training is designed to equip staff with evidence-based literacy strategies that aligns with the state requirement and support for the district's strategic goal for improving students' academic outcomes. The accompanying materials will provide teachers with necessary tools to implement these strategies effectively in the classroom. Policy reference is 6320 purchasing. Funding source will be 35M grant. Strategic plan reference academics. Benton Harbor area schools will increase student achievement as measured on local, state, and national assessments. Recommended action is that Benton Harbor Board of Education approve the ISM invoice for training and materials totaling $66,200.
All right, is there a motion to approve staff report T1?
Make a motion to approve staff report T1.
Is there a second or support?
Second.
The motion has been made by Treasurer Bradley and supported by Trustee Gavin. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All right, so I'll go, we got a couple. Okay, so I see, we'll go with Gavin first and then we'll move to Bradley, and then I have a question as well.
I just want to say that I recall, and it was many years ago, I recall an after-school program with Orton Gillingham, and it was a strong phonics influence, really helping students who had challenges with reading and reading comprehension. And I respect Dr. Foster's judgment on getting the necessary materials. But yeah, my memory of those materials is that they were very helpful when I worked at the King Preparatory School. I'm gonna say 1999, somewhere around that time. But I'm sure that they've advanced in their offerings since then.
All right, thank you. Treasurer Bradley.
I just had one question because I didn't remember seeing this at the work session. What can I get just a brief Cliff Notes version of what this program is for?
So this program is the Tier 1 early literacy program that's going to be provided for our K through third grade students. And so we are offered another section of this grant that we can't talk about now because we don't know if we're approved for it yet, but it is for academic interventionists that's going to come in and work with our students in small groups. So that is the goal for this program for our K through 3 program.
All right, Raquel Martin.
Remember us being trained, Orton Gillingham, all of our teachers were trained. And by now I know a lot of those people have retired or gone on. So this is nice to know. Also, 35M grant, what grant is that?
It is the read.
Is that a misprint?
Yeah, read.
It's
literacy
35M.
grant.
Yeah,
35M.
yeah, the 35M grant, that's what it says. What grant is that?
Read Innovation Grant.
Okay.
It's 35M and 35N. A grant that we had written last year? In the summer.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so my question, I want you to know I fully support this. One thing that I know that you all brought to our attention was the amount that we had invested in curriculum that may not have been used within the classroom to the manner that we wanted it to be. And so my question is, as our director, how are we going to ensure that this particular investment that we're making now is not going to sit in the classroom or not be used accordingly? Because I know that's something that you were extremely big and adamant about, and then here we are with another request. So I just want to get your feedback as it relates to that.
This grant is for this specific program. However, there will be some accountability in place where there will be walkthroughs and documented weekly logs that the academic interventionists and principals will have to fill out. We will also talk about this program bi-weekly in our principals meetings with the elementary principals. And so at this time, the accountability will be there with documentation and the logs of how often they're using this program, also with fidelity checks. Those will be done again, like I said, weekly and then bi-weekly with principals and then monthly with the interventionists.
You have the floor.
I've also charged Dr. Foster with ensuring that she brings our union committee that they have tasked to add to this program as well. Overall, our goal is to make sure that the union is at the table for all decisions. And so although this was done prior to Dr. Foster and me, we are excited about making sure that our teacher union president and vice president and the people that they have designated for that committee are involved in how these programs are implemented to ensure that we get a return on our investment and the data does grow.
Thank you very much. If there's no other, Secretary Triplett.
Yeah, so this is for K to grade 3. So that'll be, the work will be done basically at MLK and DEC.
Mhm.
So those two facilities. So, and it is 31M, correct?
Mhm.
All right, thank you. 35M, thank you.
All right, Secretary Triplett, please call the vote.
President Robinson,
Yes?
Vice President Bowens.
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
No.
Trustee Rocket Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, up next, Dr. Griffin, you have the floor regarding the collective bargaining agreement proposal, staff report S1.
I would like to first give acknowledgement and affirmation to the members that collaborated with us at the table during the negotiation process. This was my first time, and I want to make sure that I acknowledge the people on the staff. Dr. Chris Burnick did a fantastic job bringing me abreast of what was going on and where we were in the process upon me taking my new role as superintendent. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge his efforts to help me transition and learn about the process. I also would like to give affirmations and acknowledgement and support and appreciation to Ms. Kara Rosen with Clark Hill, our attorneys, who helped us make sure that we were being mindful of what the impact of the CBA would be. And then, of course, I want to give affirmation and acknowledgement to our board, Benton Harbor Education Association and their leadership, Ms. Brenda Terrell and Ms. Sylvia Wilson, president and vice president accordingly. Upon my arrival and we started to get into the sessions, they were very clear about being student-centered. And so we had an opportunity to go through the process very amicably. And they were given the floor to voice their concerns and rationale for why they chose what they chose. Conversely, we were able to do the same. And I'm very excited to share that we have reached a tentative agreement with them. And I want to say, I really, really appreciate all that they did at the table to share their experiences of what had happened and transpired prior to my arrival. And so I have shared with them there in the negotiations, and I will publicly say that going forward, it is my endeavor and my commitment and promise to them that they will be at the table as much as often as possible, as so we can respect them in the process of how we educate our children here in Benton Harbor area schools. So I want to publicly thank them. I also want to yield the floor to them if they want to come up and make a comment about the process. They're welcome to do so. I've invited them tonight to share in the celebration for the agreement being reached. Please welcome Ms. Terrell, our president, and Ms. Wilson, our vice president. Wow. Okay, so. And welcome to the other members of the union. We're excited to see you here tonight. That the director of facilities, that's right. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, we would, you know what, we did a lot of work with Kara, the attorney. Learned a lot from each other. We worked hard. We saw some areas that we needed to clean up and they agreed and we agreed together. It was good work. It was good work. I'm looking forward to doing this again after 3 more years. Well, there'll probably be somebody else by then, but anyway. We had a good negotiating time. We learned a lot from each other and we appreciate the time that we spent together. And we're looking forward to moving our kids forward because this is all about our kids. Because we have to prepare our kids for the real world. And I'm serious about that. We are all serious about that. And when we say something, we're not complaining. We are saying what we need to say to help our kids move forward. And we are serious about this process because God is holding us accountable for what happens to our kids.
I just want to thank Dr. Griffin and the board. I want to thank Dr. Griffin, the whole board, and everybody who had hands into it. Just keep us in your prayers and we're here to do the work.
What's your title? I'm obsessed with you.
Thank you very much. Would you like to speak? At this time, I would like to welcome, I want to say Kara, I'm saying it the wrong way, Kara to the podium as well, so she can have an opportunity to speak to the experience. And thank you again for your participation in this process.
I want to thank the board. I want to thank Dr. Burnick for Director of Special Education stepping to a bargaining table and collective bargaining. That is a first. That is a first. Dr. Griffin, I want to thank you, and of course to the BHEA local leadership. I always say when I get to the bargaining table that I'm here to represent the district and the board, obviously, and to help the parties reach an agreement. But after a TA is reached, I walk away. You don't see me again. Well, if you do see me, it's not going to be a good thing, right? But the people at the table live the agreement every single day, right? You continue to live it for the next 3 years. So I'm glad we were able to reach an agreement, and I thank the board for letting me be a part of the process. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Dr. Griffin, you can present staff report S1.
Oh, no, she did it. Oh, she did. I'm proud. I was just looking for it on the horizon. All right, glasses. Staff report HS1. Subject collective bargaining agreement between Benton Harbor Educational Association, MEA, NEA, and Benton Harbor Area Schools. Submitted day September 9th, 2025. Reason for board consideration to ratify the tentative agreement reached on August 28th, 2025 between Benton Harbor Area Association, MEA, and NEA, and Benton Harbor Area Schools, and approve the 2025-2028 collective bargaining agreement. Fact and analysis, the CBA has been negotiated within the parameters provided by the board. Major highlights, 3-year contract through June 30th, 2028. Eligible employees will advance 1 step each year of the contract. Salary schedules will increase 3% each year of the contract. Extra pay amount increases from $37.50 to $40 per hour. A 185-day contract for the 2025-2026 year. Bylaw reference, bylaw 0122, board powers, recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education votes to ratify the tentative agreement between the Benton Harbor Education Association, MEA, NEA, and the Benton Harbor Area School District as presented and approved the 2025 to 2028 collective bargaining agreement.
Is there a motion to approve staff report S1?
I so move.
All right, the motion has been made by Secretary Triplett and supported by Vice President Bowens. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Madam President, to our superintendent, thank you for stepping in and stepping in with integrity. To Dr. Burnick, I'd like to thank you as well for all of your work. I think we made a great choice when we selected you to be our interim superintendent to help lead and hold the district together in the absence of our superintendent and the way in which you have worked alongside her and with respect, deference, and humility. So we really do appreciate that. To our teachers, y'all my people. And they say that's my people. 27 years I taught, and I know I hear you, I've heard you. And I'm so glad that you all knew and that you all had enough love for this district, a depth of knowledge as it related to our finances, and you did not allow that foolishness to go forth. I am so sorry that you all had to endure people falsely representing you all at that table. And that's very important that this community know that that actually happened. And what was presented to us and to our new superintendent, who immediately saw the red flag, and Dr. Burnick, and to our esteemed attorney, Rosen, I just appreciate it. It's good. It's good that we have a bargaining union. We have an education association that loves Benton Harbor. And you guys have stood with us through the test of time. And so I feel very honored to give my 101% support to you all. I heard you every time when you turned your heads, when you dropped your heads, when you winked. I know y'all faces. I know y'all noses were turned up. I know y'all was, that's not true. That's not right. Still trying to give respect.
They lying.
Yeah, so we get some, they lying. We be like, they are lying. No, we were not there. No, we heard you. But I hope that you all feel comfortable with our decision and our selection of our superintendent. That you guys might not always agree, but at least we know that we have integrity here leading this work, and it's good for us to be able to sit back because we do have our own jobs and we don't have to work as hard anymore. Thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions, Secretary Triplett, please call the vote for staff report S1.
President Robinson,
Yes.
Vice President Bowens.
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Madam President, we have an agreement with the Ben Harbor Education Association. Thank you. Motion carried.
All right, awesome. Up next, we have item B, which is the 25-26 Benton Harbor Area Schools District School Calendar. This calendar was we were waiting for the CBA. And so we did have to post, I think, 1 or 2 months or something, just for parents, a draft of it, so parents will have an idea of things. But at this particular time, we have an official calendar. And so Dr. Griffin, you can present staff report S2.
Thank you, Madam President. Before I do, I want to give kudos again to Dr. Burnick for helping us with this process because he knew I didn't know what I was doing. And I want to give special kudos to Ms. Terrell and Ms. Wilson again because they put aside the concerns around the agreement during the negotiation process, thinking specifically of the families. And so we were able to get a draft out sooner rather than later so that we could be considerate of our families preparing for the start of the school year. So they were already ready to come and be amicable. No, let's get this done. Let's get this out because we got families depending on us. So I want to make sure I make that compliment public. Thank you so, so much for working diligently with Dr. Burnick to ensure that the dates were right and you guys worked past the time and you could go back and forth and made sure that all those dates were put in the calendar in a way that we could get it right out to the families in enough time to be considerate of their schedules and their monies to start the school year. So I want to make sure I made that public to our community and our board. So I thank you again for your hard work, Dr. Burnick, and to the president and vice president. With that being said, I'll read it at this time. Subject 2025 Benton Harbor Area Schools District Calendar Approval. Submitted September 9th, 2025. Reason for board consideration, seeking board approval for the 25-26 Benton Harbor Area Schools District School Calendar. Fact and analysis. The presented district school calendar has been developed in collaboration with Central Office Administration and the Teachers Union. The calendar meets the state requirements for 180 days of instructional time and 1098 or 1,098 instructional hours. It provides professional learning opportunities and collaboration for staff in at least 5 district-wide professional development days throughout the calendar year. Additionally, opportunities for parents and teachers to connect and collaborate have been established with 2 asynchronous days for parent-teacher conference days. Policy reference 8210, school calendar. Strategic plan reference, communication, Benton Harbor Area Schools will engage and inform all stakeholders to maximize district support. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education votes to approve the 2025-2026 Benton Harbor Area Schools District School Calendar as presented.
Is there a motion to approve staff
Pres-
report?
All right.
Staff report S2?
President Robinson,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to approve staff report S2 with an amendment to include Peace Day for June 3rd, the last student day.
Is that primarily when it's done?
Yep, every year.
Madam President.
You have the floor.
Thank you so much for the reminder. Trustee Gavin and I did have a conversation. Above all, we definitely want to make sure that we support Peace Day. So that was just an error of omission, not intentional. So I want to just make that public. We definitely want to still participate in Peace Day as a school district. So thank you for the reminder, Trustee Gavin. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
so the motion has been made by trustee Gavin to approve staff report S2 with the slight amendment to the Benton Harbor Area School District calendar to include Peace Day on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Is there a second?
Support.
Second.
The motion has been made by Gavin and supported by Doyle. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Again, Madam President, I would like to say I'm just happy that we can trust what's being presented to us. But I want to say to our esteemed superintendent, there was never a time that you didn't know what you were doing. This is your first time being the superintendent of Benton Harbor Area School. And every superintendent has their first time, and there will be many, many firsts. So it's not that you did not know what you were doing. This was your first time having the opportunity to do this level of work. So I just want to put that on the record. And we have our confidence that you know what you're doing. And we appreciate what you've done. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
The motion was made by Gavin and supported by Doyle with the noted amendment. Secretary Triplett, can you please call the vote?
President Robinson,
Yes.
Vice President Bowens,
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, so we are near the end. Old business, the only old business that I have is I just want to notate that I did email you all feedback from from Troon, their rates, and then the proposed rates from Clark Hill for council at meetings. So if you all could please take a look at that, and we are going to have that conversation at our upcoming work session. Just want to make sure everybody is aware that it's in your email. And then for new business, we have our leadership retreat, which I also sent via email. Our dates. So what we're doing today is confirming the date of the retreat. The options were September 27th, which is a Saturday, October 4th, and October 18th, all Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So far, I've received one person available on the 27th and two people available on the 4th. So I'm hoping that we can come to a consensus as to which date works best for the majority of the board. So right now we have two available for October 4th. Does that date not work for you? Is there anyone who cannot do the 4th? Raquel Martin, you're the only one. Is that the best date for everyone else?
For me, it is.
I was just going to say, that date works for me, but with the 18th, we have to be mindful that the leadership conference is the following week.
Okay.
And Madam President, excuse me, that October the 18th, the 17th is homecoming for Benton Harbor High School. So I'm quite sure there are things that are being planned with the alumni as well. So we would, if we could take that off of the calendar and make sure that we give our undivided attention to homecoming.
Okay, so that was just an option. So if it's not 3 days, it's pick a date out of this, and it sounds like the majority is wanting to go with 10-4. I'm sorry, I know that Wildcat Martin is not available, but it seems that everyone else is available that date.
So is this going to be a part of our partnership agreement responsibilities with us qualify, or are we completed with all of it?
We're done with that requirement. I've submitted our records already. So they got the description of each of the trainings with each of you all's signature. I sent that to them when we got done with the 5th training. So this is just us doing a retreat with our superintendent, and let the record show. I normally have to develop a retreat agenda and work and collaborate with my board. My superintendent has already sent me a maybe 3 to 4 page draft of what this retreat could look like. When I say I'm so grateful, I have to sit down and do my homework and read her suggestions so I can give her detailed feedback. But this retreat has already been initiated in planning. So I just have to review it and give my feedback and secure a date with you all. So if 10/4 is the date that works for the majority, like I said, I wish that everyone could make it, but it seems like majority of us are available on 10/4.
Nobody can do the 27th? No?
Do either the 27th or the 4th, but if I can go with the 4th, it'd be better.
Okay. All righty, so we're gonna proceed with selecting the 4th. We will have a facilitator. It is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Dr. Griffin I told you 3 to 4 pages. We got some good work to do. So we will follow up regarding the facilitator, and then she was actually wanting a potential different location other than the boardroom. So we're looking into that. Now, of course, because it's a retreat, it is a public meeting. We would just have to make sure the public notes where we are and that there's chairs available for public participation if someone wants to come watch us from 8 to 4. But we will give you all more details concerning that. Okay, so moving right along, we're at open public comment. Is there anyone that would like to make a public comment? Okay, you can stand, you can.
Just in reference to this article on the boilers.
So are you wanting to make a meeting? No? Okay. All right.
Hold off today.
All right. Anyone else would like to make a open public comment? Hearing none, we'll proceed to board member announcements and comments. Trustee Doyle.
Greetings. I would just like to thank everyone who came out. I would like to thank all of the watchers. I'm very appreciative for our teachers and our staff and our superintendent. I would like to let you all know that I am a Yes Fresh Start champion. And if you guys if anyone is interested in collecting signatures for Invest in My Kids, you can contact me to get your training and your petitions. I'd like to do a special thanks for the CBA, Dr. Burnick, the teachers, our attorneys, and Dr. Griffin. Great job, great save. Thanks so much for all that you do. And I would like to congratulate our girls volleyball team. We won yesterday. They did a great job. And that'll be it for me. You guys have a wonderful evening and have one on purpose.
All right. Up next, we have Trustee Gavin.
Happy Tuesday. And I mean that. This has been just a string of positive board meetings, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to the teachers who held the line. I'm grateful to Dr. Griffin, who said she didn't know what she was doing, but she clearly did. An amazing, phenomenal job. And just grateful to Dr. Burnick and grateful to our council for showing that we can be unified, we can come together and we can agree on something that centers our students. So I feel really good about that. And I guess what I'm seeing is like the transparency that helps to build trust. And I've been seeing, just information from what's been going on in the schools. I've been hearing really positive feedback from all levels, and it feels real good from students to staff. And it feels good just walking in here. You can see your reflection on the floors, seriously. But I also want to say that we are in a time in which our state budget has not been approved yet. And there are a lot of things at risk. And it's very important for us to get involved and making sure that you reach out to your congressperson, let them know that we want to make sure that they don't approve the $2 billion cuts to CTE funding, $50 million cuts to $2 billion cuts to public education that includes cuts to CTE funding, public school categoricals like mental health, special education, school lunches, early literacy programs. These are very serious issues. Also, multi-billion-dollar cuts to Medicaid and behavioral health, SNAP, your water quality, your air quality. There are so many things. So I just want to say, like, really pay attention to that. And if they don't come to an agreement by October 1, we'd be looking at a state shutdown, which we could lose thousands and thousands of jobs. And so we have an opportunity to get involved and to make sure that we contact your Congress and tell them to pass a quality state budget that centers our students. And we do care about the roads and everything, but we do want those roads to be leading to public schools that are open, right? So I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. Please contact your congressman and let them know that they need to be investing in our kids and our governor as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Raquel Martin.
Good evening to everyone that's here. For the teacher's contract, I'm happy if you're happy. Teachers play such an important role in our education for our kids in this district. And so happy teachers make happy students. Happy students do well in their educational endeavors. And so, so I'm happy that you got the kind of contract that you wanted to have. That means a lot. Also, I'm thankful for those that have worked and those that go out and visit our buildings and, just are visible in our buildings and are doing the work that needs to be done for our students.
All right, thank you. Up next, we have Treasurer Bradley.
Good evening, and thank you everyone for coming out. I did have an opportunity to attend our first home football game, and it was awesome. I did see Trustee Doyle there. Our finance director and our superintendent was there, and I was hanging out with TMB, and Superintendent Griffith saw me. I was out there doing rounds with the band. I forgot these are not 2005 needs. I would just say that. And I can remember at our 20th reunion, Secretary Triplett did remind us that we maybe have one or two more reunions and we're going to be sitting in the corner somewhere. So, but I do want to say to my fellow board members, I do, sometimes I may get passionate about some things. I want to apologize if my tone has come off, and I don't want to come from a place of disrespect. I do apologize for that, and I value every board member, even our seasoned board members, because they have so much wisdom, Secretary Triplett and Trustee Raquel Martin. So please forgive me for that. I did have a book I found in my library, The Self-Aware Leader, and by Dr. John C. Maxwell, and I'm working on that. And it's just all about growing. And I will say this, another thing, I know let's be careful how we disagree, especially around this time of election season coming up. I know at the Summer Institute, they did say we should endorse quietly. And when we, are out there, wanting to, during election season, represent someone, let's just do it so we can make sure that we stay united in the community, no matter who we support or don't support. And we want to make sure, because it's a small area, and if they see us doing that, we, as board members, we represent Benton Harbor area schools, and if they see us going at each other, then it just doesn't put unity out there. So I will want to be mindful of that. I know everybody's entitled to their opinions and everything, and I do respect that. But thank you everyone for coming out, and you all have a great evening.
Thank you. Up next, we have Secretary Triplett.
Madam President, enough has been said. I will pass.
Thank you. Up next, we have Vice President Bowens.
Madam President, this year is an interesting year. I have a nephew that plays varsity football and junior varsity. He's a freshman. I have a cousin that plays volleyball for Benton Harbor area schools. I have a godson named Lil Trenton that plays basketball, will be playing basketball and track. So I never thought in a million years I would be going to all of these games and sticking up to it with them and staying tuned. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also, congratulations. I think this is the first time in months that we have had a full cabinet. Mr. Bullocks, welcome back. I hear Mace playing in the background. I'm sorry, Dr. Bullocks, let me put some respect on your name. And I am excited. I want to say to the superintendent, thank you for the Google Classroom. I like that. I like the videos, you know, and she got it. Normally I get, you know, I stay underwear. I got my people that keep me updated. And they said the superintendent said no. So I'm like, I don't know nothing going on. I guess no news is good news. You know, to be loved by many, but hated by few is a blessing I don't take lightly. I know that standing on truth and convictions will always bring support and opposition, but I'd rather be real, respected, than fake and accepted. There's a difference, and it's simple. I don't move on whispers. I move on truth. I don't build grudges, I build bridges. And while others play games, I stay consistent. Remember that and put some respect on my name. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Bowens. I am the only person left. I'll just say thank you to everyone for your efforts. I appreciate Vice President Bowens for chairing briefly in my absence. Excited that we've gotten the CBA approved. I also would like to thank our teachers as a whole and our teachers union. I did have an opportunity in recent months to talk candidly with our union leads, and it was quite the eye opener. And so the conversation that I had with the superintendent is that you need to make sure you get the union on your calendar. They have quite a bit of concerns that maybe not even the board is aware of. So I'm grateful that you all have had an opportunity to collaborate in that manner. I'm excited for this school year. I'm just excited for the spirit of collaboration that is within the district and the board table. Excited to have our superintendent in place as well as her cabinet. And that is all I have. Thank you all for your support as always. So at this time, I'll ask, is there a motion to?
Madam President?
Yes,
May I have the floor for a moment?
yes.
I just want.
I didn't give you an opportunity.
It's okay.
Oh, it's not on there.
Yes, it's
Somebody cut you out. Go
It's
ahead.
okay.
I just realized.
It's
In
okay.
the tarnation?
It's
Okay.
It's okay. I just want to remind all our families that tomorrow night at 5:30 in the Benton Harbor High School cafeteria will be our superintendent chat and chew. This is your opportunity, families, to come out so that I can hear your concerns and make sure they're addressed accordingly this year. I've had opportunities to talk with a lot of other people during my 90 days as a start for my superintendency, but the most important people I need to hear from are you. So all my moms, dads, uncles, godparents, grandparents, if you have a baby in this district, you deserve for me to sit and hear from you. So please join me tomorrow night at 5:30 in the Benton Harbor High School cafeteria at 5:30 so that we can hear from you and begin to make sure that your voice is included in what we do as a district. Thank you.
All right. I apologize for that. I don't think any of us noticed the oversight until just now. So, but that was an amazing way to close. So at this time, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
All right, the motion has been made by Treasurer Bradley. Secretary Triplett, I'll take you as a support. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Yes, Madam President, since people are accustomed to me giving comments, I think I'll use this time right now to give my closing. I don't want, I don't want to disappoint my publics.
Why, Lord?
No,
Why, Lord?
I'm just kidding.
All right, Secretary Triplett, please call the vote.
President Robinson,
Yes.
Vice President Bowens,
Yes.
Secretary Triplett, yes. Treasurer Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Rocket Martin, Trustee Gavin,
Yes.
Trustee Doyle.
Yes.
Madam President, a quorum has voted to adjourn this meeting.
All right, so at this time, the meeting is adjourned as of 8:10 p.m. Thank you.